Parshas Toldot, the Torah tells us how Rivka Imenu, when she was pregnant, she suffered from pains because her children were struggling inside, were moving a lot, quite a lot. And there are many explanations there. What was happening, really? One explanation of the Medrash, which Rashi quotes, Rabbi Berechio b'shem Rabbi Levi. Rabbi Berechio b'shem Rabbi Levi said, Shelo toimar, you should not say, that when Esav came out from the womb of his mother, then he started showing his bad character. No. Elo ad sheu bimeimo. But already when he was in the womb, he was showing the fist, his closed fist to Yankov. Ado dirsiv, as it says in the Pasuk in Tehillim, Kapitel Nun Ches. Zoru Reshoim Merochem. The Reshoim are strangers to Hashem already from the womb. When she was passing in front of the temples of idols, when she was passing in front of the Bote Knesiyos, Bote Midroshes, in front of the places of study and of prayer, Yankov mefarkis lotzis. Yankov was struggling to get out, to go and daven, to go and learn Torah. Ado dirsi, it says in Yirmiyahu, Kapitel Aleph, B'terem etzorcho ba'beten yedaticho, before I shaped you in the womb of your mother, I knew already that you were going to become a Novi and a Tzaddik. And when she was passing near a temple of idols, Esav was struggling to come out and to worship the idols. The pasuk we quoted previously, the Reshoim are strangers to Hashem already from the womb. This is the Medrash. Now there is a Gemara in Bava Basra, Daf Tes Zayin, Amud Aleph. Iyov Omar Rove, Bikesh Iyov Liftoir es kol oilom kuloi min adin. Iyov wanted to exempt the whole world from judgment. There is no judgment. There cannot be any justice. Why? Omar Lefonov, because he said in front of Hashem, Ribono shel olam, Master of the universe, Boroso Shoir, you created an ox, Parsois of Sedukos, with the split hooves. That is a sign that this is a behemoth shere which is allowed to be eaten. Boroso Chamoir, and you have created the donkey, Parsois of Kilutois, with the hooves are one piece. They are not splitted. That shows is a behemoth meir. You're not allowed to eat it. Boroso Gan Eden, you created Gan Eden. Boroso Gehenom, you created Gehenom. Boroso Tzadikim, you created Tzadikim. Boroso Reshoim, you created Reshoim. Mi me'akev al yotcho, who can stop you from doing what you do? In other words, you do what you want. You don't leave us any choice. That was the argument of Eov. Eov wanted to say, there is no din, there is no way you can judge people. People are not responsible for their actions. Because every individual has got a character which has been shaped together with his body in the womb of his mother, the same as you created an animal which is impure or an animal which is pure. There is no you have chosen it, it's not the animal. The same also you have created in the womb of their mothers. You have created people who are going to grow later on to become tzaddikim. And you have created people who are going to grow to become reshoim. So what is there? Can there be a judgment? How can you hold responsible people for their actions if they become wicked or they become nice? And what do the friends of Eov answer him? Because that was an argument between Eov and his three friends that had come to visit him. So what do those friends answer to Eov? You want to annul the Yiras Shomayim. You want to make people exempt from Yiras Shomayim. There is no use to have Yiras Shomayim, according to you. You have to let yourself go the way you are. Boro HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yetzer Hore. Taki, you're right. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Yetzer Hore in a man. Boro lo Teure Tavlin. But he also created Teure as a remedy, as a cure for the Yetzer Hore. That's the Gemara in Bava Basra. Now, according to the Midrash we just read previously, it seems the Midrash goes against the Gemara, because the Gemara says that through Take, there are people that have been born with a strong Yetzer Hore. That was the argument of Eov. You have created people who, on their own accord, according to their own instinct and nature, they are predestined to become Rishonim. And you have created good people who are naturally good, and they are predestined to become tzaddik. And where is your justice then? And what do the friends of Eov answer Eov? There is a way out for those people who have got a bad character. There is Teure. Teure is a tavlin. Teure is a cure for the Yetzer Hore. You can mend your character. You can progress. You can change with Teure. Yeah, good. So why does the Midrash say Zoiru Reshoim Merochem? Why does the Midrash I quoted in the beginning say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Yirmiyahu, I already knew when you were in the womb of your mother, you're going to grow a Novi and a Tzaddik? What does it mean then? On the other hand, and what does the Midrash want to say when the Midrash says about Yankov, the difference between Yankov and Esav? When she was passing by the Botek Nesias, Yankov wanted to go out and learn Torah and daven already. And Esav, he already wanted to be an idol worshipper. What does the Midrash want to say? Zor Reshoim Merochem, the Reshoim already strangers to Hashem from the womb. How can you say to such a person as Esav, who doesn't want to go to learn Torah whilst he is in the womb of his mother? He wants to do Avodah Zarah. He wants to murder. He wants to commit incest and adultery. How can you say to such a child when he grows up, you've got a strong Yetzer Hore, go and learn Torah with Yaakov Avinu? Is it fair? Yaakov Avinu, he wanted to learn Torah on his own accord. He had a nature. Even when he was in the womb of his mother, he wanted to learn Torah. How can you say to Esav? Esav can say, it's not fair. It's not a fair world. Why did the Rebbeinu Shalom create me, Esav? Why didn't he create me? Why didn't he ask me my advice? At least give me a choice. If you would have asked me, what do you want to be created like? Like Esau or like Yankov? Esau would have surely said, I prefer to be created with a good character. So where is justice? Where is justice? Where is the fair play? Where is Bechire? Where is the free choice? It seems that Eov was right in the end. Chavere Eov, the friends of Eov, say to Eov, there is a cure. A cure. Who is going to take that cure? In order to take that cure, you have to have a cheshek. You have to have a will to do it. Yaakov has got it, because Yaakov was created in the womb with the will to learn. Chochme, kunz, a big thing that. To say to Yaakov, go and learn Torah, it's a cure for the Yetzer Hara. Yaakov, of course, Yaakov is already ready to learn Torah. Before he got born, he wanted to learn Torah. And then you turn to Esau and say, no, why don't you be like Yaakov, your brother? Why don't you go and learn Torah like Yaakov? Esau says, what do you want from me? I was created a person with an instinct, with an urge to go and not to learn Torah, but to go and do Avodah Zorah. And now you tell me to go and learn Torah. Is it fair? So every time we come again to this parsha, it's not a new question. Every year it bothers me. And of course, we know that every time it's still, we always need, in Torah, in explaining things in Torah, there is Shivim Ponim La Torah, first of all. There is 70 ways how to explain the Torah. And there is always, when we revise and we say over again, a kasha, a question, something which is difficult to understand, do not think that we understood it with 1/3. We never understand it completely. There is always things that need to be added and clarified. So Baruch Hashem, this year, whilst learning with a chavrusa of mine, we came to an enlightenment, something, a light, a new light in this medrash. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. And it's going to be very helpful to us as well. Because as we know, when the Torah tells us such midrashim about Yaakov and Esau, it's not in order to understand Yaakov and Esau, it's in order to understand ourselves. That's what the purpose of the Torah is. Tavlin. Torah is a tavlin, is a cure for the Yetzer Hara. Now I just want to repeat again what we had said last year, in short, and then go on to the new thing. Last year I think we said like this. According to Rav Dessler says, Nekudas HaBechira. There is in Bechira, in free choice, not everybody has got free choice, that is sure. But not everybody has got free choice on the same level. I gave an example to my pupils in the Cheder, 11 years. I told them like this. When we were speaking about this subject, about Esau and Yaakov, you don't deny, do you, that you have a Yetzer Hara, you are in Cheder now, yes? And you've got a strong Yetzer Hara, you don't deny it. Oh, they know it, of course they know it. They know they've got a strong Yetzer Hara because when I catch them playing, they know, what are you playing in the middle? Rashi is not more important than your little games there. I say, Rebbe, they say, with a sorry look on their face, Rebbe, we've got such a strong Yetzer Hara. So I tell them, good, I understand you've got a strong Yetzer Hara. But you have been born in this world to control it. And you have to suffer for it. You have to learn that. And they hear, and they behave a bit better. Until the next time. But I asked them, what do you think about the kids now that are playing in the street, George Street now? Bonfires and firecrackers. They've got a Yetzer Hara also. Oh yes, they've got a Yetzer Hara. What is the difference then between them and you? Your Yetzer Hara is in the Cheder. You are in the Cheder the whole day. And in the cheder, you must struggle with your Yetzer Hora to learn, not to play, to hear, not to talk, and to understand better the Torah. And they have got a Yetzer Hora, those kids in the street, they've got a Yetzer Hora to break in a house, to steal money for their shtusim, what they want to do, for what they want to play with. Now I asked them, which Yetzer Hora is stronger? Theirs or yours? So they all said, ours. Why? He said, look, because their Yetzer Hora is to steal my bike. That's gar nicht, das sei Yetzer Hora to steal my bike. They don't understand the Yetzer Hora of the little goyim. We've got the Yetzer Hora to steal their bike, you understand? Our Yetzer Hora is not to learn, you understand? It's a strong Yetzer Hora. It's much stronger Yetzer Hora. It's Gewalt, because they feel it. So they say, our Yetzer Hora is stronger. But if you ask the little kids in the street there, they'll tell you the opposite. If you tell them the story, they'll tell you, our Yetzer Hora is stronger. And each person thinks like that. My Yetzer Hora is stronger than his Yetzer Hora. But it's not true. It's a classical case of the garden, the grass is greener in the garden of the neighbor. But we always think we are worse off. But in actual fact, says Rav Dessler, it is the same Yetzer Hora. Only what? It depends on which level. Their bechire of the goyim is to steal or not to steal. And your Yetzer Hora is to learn or not to learn. But you have no Yetzer Hora to steal, you. So your bechire, your level of bechire doesn't stand at this low level to steal or not to steal. You're free, but we all have free choice. Every creature, a goy, a yid with frum, a yid with not frum, which frumkeit, a ben Torah, a koilel man, a businessman, doesn't make any difference. There are different levels, and on those levels, every creature, every human being has got free choice. We can give an example. If you have a mountain, and the slope of the mountain is regular, it doesn't change, let's say. It's an inclination which is always at so many degrees. And someone wants to climb the mountain. And he has been brought by an helicopter to the middle of the mountain. Another one starts climbing the mountain from the bottom. Now tell me, is there a difference of hardship between one and another? Is the one who is at the top, has he got to struggle harder? Or the one at the bottom has to struggle harder? No. For both of them, they have to struggle, they have to put an effort to go up, to climb, to go up, to climb. And for both of them, it would be easier to sit down and rest. And for both of them, it would be even easier to go down the mountain. To go down the mountain, it goes on its own. And for both of them, to climb is the same. It's the same hardship. It's the same struggle. There's no difference where you stand in the middle, at the top, near the top. At the top not, because there is nowhere to climb. But near the top, it's as hard as near the bottom. What's the difference? So it is between Yaakov and Esau. It's a mistake to think, Yaakov, it was a piece of cake, Yaakov. Yaakov, he had it nice and easy, Yaakov. Yaakov, he was born a guter. He was born a tzaddik, with good midas, with a good character. A voiler. So kind, so gentle. A tachshit von a kind, Yaakov. So he must have had a very easy life, him. He didn't have to struggle. But poor Esau, such a bad character. All this was inborn in him. So of course, to get out of that, he would have to struggle very hard, didn't he? Wouldn't he? The answer is not. Because Bechire, free choice, doesn't make any difference where you stand. It's always Mi Ya'aleh Behar Hashem. Who will climb up the mountain of Hashem? And to climb up a mountain doesn't make any difference where you climb the mountain from the bottom or from the middle or from near the top. Chazal say, Kol hagodel mechavero yitro godel mimenu. The one who is greater in Torah, in Tzidkus, his Yetzer Hara is also greater. Why should the Yetzer Hara become greater? So what has he earned? If he grows up in Torah, in Tzidkus, the Yetzer Hara grows up together with him. Why should it be so? Because it has to be so, in order that the Bechira, the free choice should always be equal. There should always be something to do in life. Right to the last moment of the life of a person. He has to struggle and he has to put an effort. That's what life was meant to be. Yetzer Hara toiv me'od. Yetzer Hara is very good because it allows us to have a reward in the next world. Without the Yetzer Hara, we wouldn't have any reward. We don't deserve any reward. For? What have you done? And what Chazal say, Zoiru Reshoim Merochem, the Reshoim are strangers to Hashem from the womb. That means the Reshoim that will grow up to be Reshoim later on, they had all those koiches, all those potentials to become Reshoim from they were in the womb. They don't get it from somebody else, from what they see, from the neighbors, from this, from the Chaverim. No. Of course, Chaverim are an influence. But they can only influence if you have it in yourself already. That's what they want. Chazal want to say. Chazal want to say that before we are born, we have all the instincts, all the midas, all the taivas, which we can manipulate either to become a tzaddik or to become a rosh. That's what Chazal wanted to say. But they didn't mean to say the chas v'sholom like Eov wanted to say that b'roser reshoim b'roser tzaddikim, there is no bechir, chas v'sholom. And we see from stories in real life, people who had started very low, like let's say Rochav Azoino, for example. Rochav Azoino is a striking example. Rochav Azoino, for 40 years, she led such a low life. 40 years while the Yidden were in the Midbar. She was not stam shikte, as a proste, Rochav Azoino. And she Baruch Hashem, she put an effort, and she became a Giyaris, not only a Giyaris, she married Yehosha ben Nun. So you see, look at the distances she traveled. And there are many other stories like that. In the Tanakh, in Midrash Chazal, in the Gemara, to teach us that no matter how low a person starts to be like, there is nothing that stands on his way. If he wants to improve, he will improve. And that's what the Torah wants to teach us here. It's very relevant to us. Because we have, I won't say unconsciously, but without speaking it aloud, we also have the same arguments as Yov. When we think about ourselves, what did I achieve in life? Why didn't I achieve more? And this nagging thought, I think one time or another, and maybe many, many times in our life, is nagging us, troubling us very, very, very hard. We all have guilt pangs, and they are not for nothing. They come from somewhere, and it comes from here, because we realize that we could do much better than what we are doing. And straight away, what do we answer to ourselves? We answer to ourselves, well, but what can I do? What can I do? I'm very limited. What can I do? I've been born like this. I've got a character like that. My circumstances, my situation allows me to be only like this or only like that. Or even worse, we say, since I'm in such a low situation, such a défavorable situation, then I might as well give up everything. And this is what the Torah wants to warn us here, with the story of Esav and Yaakov. It's not just a story about two brothers it is a story about ourselves. We also, many times, we do not realize what we could achieve because we are justifying ourselves. We hide ourselves with excuses that I am a different person. You cannot compare me to that one. That one, he was born in such a family. That one was born from such parents with such a character. He's got such a situation, such a surrounding, and so on and so on and so on. But me, I have nothing at my disposal to achieve something worth achieving, and that is wrong. Bechira is the free choice, makes it for us that we can achieve anything we want. No limit to up where we can go. Only we should realize that we are unlimited and we can achieve, if we want, we can achieve. That's the purpose of this. Now, the new thing I wanted, that we said already last year. The new thing the chidush, the new explanation, light, which was shed this year, was because I studied a bit the Haftorah. Since I give a shiur on Haftorah, I have to study the Haftorah. The Haftorah is in Malachi, Kapitel Aleph. Malachi, Kapitel Aleph. The Novi Malachi was in the second Beis HaMikdash. He was sent by HaKadosh Baruch Hu to rebuke the Klal Yisrael. And this is what he starts his tochocha with, as an introduction. Maso devar Hashem el Yisrael biyad Malachi. A prophecy of the word of Hashem to Israel in the hand of Malachi. And this is what he says. Ohavti eschem omar Hashem. I have loved you, says the Rebbeinu Shalom. You, the Klal Yisrael, I have loved you. It doesn't say, I love you. It's the first diuk, the first thing we have to notice here. Ohavti eschem omar Hashem. I have loved you, says Hashem. Va'amartem, and you said to me, Ba'mo ahavtonu, with what have you loved us? Now this repartee of the Klal Yisrael, when the Navi comes to the Klal Yisrael and says, I have loved you, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What should the Klal Yisrael said? Thank you very much. We also loved you. Or we also love you. If someone comes to you and says, I love you, what do you answer? Do you answer why? For what? You say, thank you. It's very nice of you. Very kind of you to say such. I also love you. It's reciprocal. And here, Klal Yisrael answered to the Navi, Ohavti eschem omar Hashem, Ba'meh ahavtonu, with what have you loved us? A funny answer that. So the Apostle goes on and says, and that is the answer of Rebbeinu Shalom. I'll teach you how. I'll tell you why, with what I loved you. Alo och Esav leYaakov neum Hashem. Esav was the brother of Yaakov, says Hashem. V'ohav es Yaakov. And I preferred Yaakov and I loved him. Ve'es Esav sodesi, and Esav I hated. V'osi meshorav shmomo, and I destroyed his mountains. And he goes on. And then he comes to the rebuke, to rebuke them. Ben yechabed ov, a son shall honor his father. Ve'eved adoinov, and a servant his master. Ve'imov oni, if I am a father, says the Rebbeinu Shalom, ayeh kevoidi, where's my honor? You don't show me any honor. Ve'im adoinim oni, if I am a master to you, ayeh moroi, where's my fear, Omar Hashem tzvokos. Lochem ha-kohanim boizeh shemi. You, the Kohanim, will disgrace my name. Va'amartem, and you said, Ba'meh bozinu es shemecho. With what have we disgraced your name? You see? They're always asking, with what? With what do you love us? And when the Navi rebukes them and tells them, you are disgracing my name. They answer back, with what have we disgraced your name? And he answers them back, I'll tell you with what you have disgraced my name. Magishim al mizbechi lechem goyol. You have brought on my mizbeach an impure bread, a dirty bread. Va'amartem, and you said to me, Ba'meh ge'alnucho, with what have we made you impure? And the Navi answers them by saying, this is the table of Hashem which is disgraceful. And then he goes on to say, why do you bring me blind animals which are limping to get rid of them? Would you bring those offerings to your prince, to your king? And then he ends up and he says, Ein li chefetz bochem, Omar Hashem tzivokos. I have no desire in you, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Umincho lo ertze mietchem. I do not want to accept any offering from you. Ki mi mizrach shemesh ve'ad mevoyo godol shmi bagoyim. Because from the east to the west of the world, my name is great amongst the nations. But you are profaning it by saying, this is the table of Hashem, which is disgraceful. I cannot say the whole Haftorah inside would take too long, but just the main points to understand what the Medrash says here, what the Haftorah says here. The Navi comes to the Klal Yisrael and tells them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves you, but he doesn't love you now. As he says later, I have no desire in you. And they ask, Ba'meh haftonu, with what do you love us? But we don't see that you love us. You don't behave with us in a way that you love us. It's the second Beis HaMikdash, time of Tzores for the Yidden, Golus, Redifes. And you tell us you loved us. Ba'meh haftonu, with what did you love us? And he answers to them, now listen, why did I love Yaakov more than Esav? Why? Do you know why? Because Yaakov behaved to me like a son behaves to his father. He worked for me, served me with love. He honored me. I hated Esav because Esav did not behave like a son to his father. He behaved just the opposite. But now you the Klal Yisrael, now you are not behaving like Yaakov. You are disgracing my name. With what, they ask? What is our behavior wrong? I'll tell you why. I'll show you, I'll pinpoint to you why is your behavior. Why does your behavior show that you are disgracing Hashem, that you do not serve him as a son should serve his father? I'll tell you why. Because for everything you do for me, you ask, what price? I didn't tell you this. It's one of the psukim here. How much will I be paid to do this mitzvah? When you have to give an adove, a korban, well, I'll take the worst to get rid. It's not worth to be mechalek, Rashi says in on the Haftorah, a bit of this korban, to eat it. You have no chashivus, you have no love for the avodah you are doing. That's why I'm telling you. But the goyim, ki mimizrach shemesh ad mevoy godel shmi ba'goyim. The goyim behave better than you do. I do not desire you. You are disgracing my name. But the goyim, godel shmi ba'goyim. My name is great amongst the goyim. That's what the Novi Malachi says to the Yidden. It's very hard to swallow. But if you do not believe me, just afterwards, take the Haftorah with Rashi and have a good reading there in the Haftorah, and you'll see I'm not inventing anything here. I only missed a few things. What does it mean? It means there is no such a thing as HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves somebody and hates somebody for no reason. Not even if HaKadosh Baruch Hu once loved the Yidden, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu once loved our forefathers, if he loved Yaakov, there was a good reason for it, not the name. If he hated Esau, there was a good reason for it. And here in that situation of Malachi, in that generation of Malachi wanted to rebuke them and tell them, you know what you are doing now? Now you, the Yidden, you behave like Esau. And the Goyim, they behave like Yaakov. Now if you look in the Midrash Tanchuma, the Midrash Tanchuma in Parshas Ekev says this: Lo merubchem mikol ha'amim. It's not because you are more than the Goyim I've chosen you. The Midrash Tanchuma translates like this: it's not because you are doing more mitzvahs than the Goyim that I have preferred you to the Goyim. Because the Goyim do more mitzvahs than you. It's Midrash Tanchuma Parshas Ekev. Very hard Midrash to understand. The Goyim do more mitzvahs than us. The Midrash says it's not because you are doing more mitzvahs than the Goyim that I've preferred you to the Goyim. It's not because you praise my name more than the Goyim that I preferred you to the Goyim, because the Goyim praise my name more than you. And he brings this pasuk, Ki mimizrach shemesh al mevoy godol shmi ba'goyim. The Midrash Tanchuma brings that pasuk. But you know why I have chosen you, why I preferred you to the Goyim. You know why? One reason only. Because you are mematim atzmechem lefonai. You belittle yourself in front of me. While the Goyim, they might do very better deeds than you. They do, but they hold themselves very great for it. And that is the reason why I have chosen you amongst the Goyim, better than the Goyim, because you are anovim, you are humble, you belittle yourself, you recognize your lowliness, and you are ready to do tshuva. The Goyim are not. That is the difference. That's what the Midrash. And the Midrash goes on and quotes about Yaakov and Esau. I loved Yaakov because he was constantly striving to progress, because he realized he was very low. Esau I hated because he was constantly holding himself greater than what he was, covering himself up, trying to bluff his way and show to his father that he was a tzaddik, and maybe trying to deceive himself as well, that I am greater than Yaakov. Of course, Esau realized when he grew up that he had a terrible bad character. We can't say that Esau did not realize that. Of course Esau realized he had a terrible character. We all do. We all do realize. We all admit, I'm a kaisen, I'm an atzlan, I'm a lazy, and I'm a baltaive, I'm greedy, and so on, and so on. We all realize that. We can't say that Esau didn't know what he was. Of course he knew. But one thing, he reacted the opposite, the other way around he should have reacted because of it. Because if someone is very ill, yes, he doesn't try to cover it up. He wants to know what's wrong with him. And then he goes to the doctor, and he looks for a cure. And here Esau, when he realizes that he has got such a bad character, what does he do? He plays a comedy. He tries to put a face of a tzaddik. Instead of taking the bull with the horn, saying, well, okay, I am Take with a big urge. I've been born with the urge to be a Rotzeach, with the urge to be an Aved Avodah Zorah, with an urge to be so and so and so and so. So let's tackle the case. Let's find a cure. Let him go to his father Yitzchak. Instead of trying to swindle his father and say, Daddy, how do you take Maisa from the salt? And his father said, where have you been today? I've been in Beis HaMedrash. We learned this and we learned that. He wasn't there. There are two reactions when someone realizes his own shortcoming. Either to cover it up, to put a face as if nothing happened, pretend. That was Esau. And Yaakov memat atzmoi. Yaakov belittles himself. Belittle doesn't mean belittle in the wrong sense of the word. Belittle means, okay, I've been born with tremendous capacities. I realize as well, Yaakov realized that he has got good midas. He realized he has got a gewaltige cheshek to learn Torah. But he knows as well the danger there is in holding himself great. There's the danger to hold himself perfect. I have achieved. I have arrived. I am good enough. And Yaakov, if you would have thought like that, that was the struggle of Yaakov. If you want to know why I chose Yaakov, why I choose the Yidden, because memati matzmechem lefonai. So now we have got a better understanding in the struggle on the mountain. What kind of struggle is that to do? Both, as much Yaakov as Esav, had to put a struggle on what point? On gaiva, on arrogance, pride, to deceive oneself that he is better than what he is. Yaakov as much as Esav. There is a Medrash Rabotake on Esav and Yaakov. Shnei geim bevitnech, Shem ve'ever. When she went to Shem ve'ever, he told her, to Rivka, you have two bale gaive in your womb. Shnei goyim. Chazal translate, ge'e goyim. Two arrogant ones in your womb. Yaakov is arrogant in his world, and Esav is arrogant in his kingdom. And the Mefarshim say like this. They are both arrogant. Yaakov is arrogant, and Esav is arrogant. Yaakov is arrogant about Bishvili Nivro Olam. The world has been created for me. I am responsible for the world. I have to aim very high to bring Torah to the world, to come back to the situation of Eitz Hadas, before Eitz Hadas, to receive Eitz Chaim, to bring Torah, to bring Klal Yisrael, Yud Be'Shvotim are going to receive the Torah, bring the Torah to the world and bring the whole humanity to what it was before the Chet of Eitz Hadas, of Odom Rishon. Bishvili nivro kol ha'olam, if not me, who else will do it? Mizgoy. Mizgoy is Bal Gaive, he's proud, he's arrogant, he aims very high, he's very ambitious. If not me, who else will do it? Bishvili nivro ha'olam. Chazal say, why was man created single, not with a mate like all the animals? Only his wife was created afterwards, but in the beginning of this creation, he was created single. Why? The Gemara says in Maseches Yeruvin, to teach us that every man has to say, I am single in the world, meaning, if not me, who else will do it? I'm responsible. I'm at the top of the world. So we feel, each one of us feels that the world, as we say, turns around his navel. When something happens to him, he gewaltig. As much for the good as for the bad. For the good, when he makes chasana, he doesn't know where he is. When someone else does chasana, there's a chuppah in it, you know. Oh, when chas v'sholom, someone is ill in the family, oh, gewalt, he loses his head. Someone else, it will be all right. Everyone thinks he's the center of the world. That's how man has been created. But it has this midah of egoism, egocentrism. It is a midah like all the midahs. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has created this. That's what Chazal mean to say, Bishvili Nivro Olam. Use it for the good. Yes, you are the center of the universe. Of course you are. You are Yochid. Because you have to achieve something which nobody else can. That was the gaiva of Yaakov. And the gaiva of Esav was to cover up the malchus, olam hazeh, a lot of soldiers, to conquer lands, to chap the money of others. And what about your own perfection? No. He chose to cover up his bad character by making a big empire, by showing his strength, his intelligence, his brilliance, and so on and so on. And we also do that, really. We have a choice. That's the choice we have. So that is a lesson for us to take this point, which we should try to achieve, always realize that what we have to progress, and to then, Be'ezras Hashem, HaKadosh will help us to do it.